From the latest on the developments of the Pahalgam terrorist attack to the centre's affidavit on the Waqf Amendment Act 2025 in the Supreme Court, here are the top headlines of the day. Good evening and welcome to the Hindus News Wrap. Let's get started. Rahul Gandhi met Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and Chief Minister Omar Abdullah to discuss the fallout of the Pahalgam terror attack in Srinagar. He also met some injured tourists at the army base hospital in the city. Gandhi, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, met various delegations including trade representatives, student leaders and tourism sector representatives. He said the idea behind the attack was to divide the people of the country and it was imperative that India stood united to defeat terrorism once and for all.
I want everybody to know that the whole nation is standing together as one. We had a meeting yesterday with the government and the united opposition condemned this action and said that we are there to support whatever action the government wants to take. The idea behind what has happened is to divide society, is to make brother fight brother. And it is very important that every single Indian stands united, stands together, so that we can defeat what the terrorists were trying to do.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha chaired a meeting to review the security situation in the Union Territory with top army officials, including Chief of Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi. The Lieutenant Governor asked the Army Chief to take effective steps to not only bring those responsible for the terror attack to justice, but also to intensify efforts to crush infrastructure of terrorism and its ecosystem. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha MP Kapil Sibal urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi to call a special session of Parliament and pass a resolution condemning the attack. He suggested that the government send out delegations of members of Parliament from both the ruling party and the opposition parties to various countries to build diplomatic pressure on Pakistan. The World Bank has not been informed of India's decision to keep the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance, sources confirmed to The Hindu. The World Bank has played a key role as a mediator in cases of disputes arising between the two countries on water sharing agreements as laid down by the treaty itself. Debashri Mukherjee, Secretary Ministry of Water Resources, wrote to her Pakistani counterpart saying that India was keeping the treaty in abeyance with immediate effect on the 24th of April. A government source told The Hindu that as Pakistan was informed about India's position on the treaty, there was, quote, no need to inform the World Bank. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Amit Shah held a meeting to discuss the future course of action on the Indus Water Treaties of 1960 with Pakistan, which has been kept in abeyance. They discussed the future course of action and how to implement the decision of keeping the treaty in abeyance. Earlier in the day, the Union Home Minister called on chief ministers of all states and asked them to ensure that no Pakistani citizen stays in India beyond the deadline set for leaving the country, PTI reported. The centre sought the Supreme Court to dismiss the pleas challenging the validity of the Waqf Amendment Act 2025 and said there cannot be a blanket stay on the law as there was a presumption of constitutionality. In an over 1,000-page preliminary counter affidavit, the government defended the law saying that shockingly after 2013, there has been an addition of 20 lakh hectares in Waqf land. It said, and I quote, settled position in law that constitutional courts would not stay a statutory provision, either directly or indirectly, and will decide the matter finally. There is a presumption of constitutionality that applies to laws made by Parliament, unquote. The affidavit said that the pleas challenging the act proceeded on a false premise that the amendments take away fundamental rights of religious freedom. The government said that the amendments were undertaken after a very comprehensive, in-depth and analytical study by the parliamentary panel having members from major political parties. The law, the centre said, was valid and a result of lawful exercise of legislative power. Raja Iqbal Singh was elected as Delhi's new mayor as the BJP returned to power in the Municipal Corporation of Delhi after 2 years. He defeated Congress candidate Mandeep Singh by securing 133 out of the 142 votes to grab the top civic body post. The AAP boycotted the mayoral elections. He was the leader of opposition in the MCD and earlier served as the mayor of North MCD. Former ISRO chairman Dr. Kasturirangan passed away in Bengaluru today. He was 84 years old. He served as the fifth chairman of ISRO between 1994 and 2003 and served as the Secretary, Department of Space for over 9 years. During his 4-decade-long career in ISRO, he was part of several key projects. He was the project director of India's first two experimental Earth observation satellites, Bhaskara 1 and 2. He steered the first operational Indian remote sensing satellite, IRS-1A. When he served as ISRO chairman, the PSLV was launched and operationalized. The first successful flight testing of GSLV also took place under his leadership. Dr. Kasturirangan served as a member of the Rajya Sabha and he was a member of the Planning Commission during the UPA government. More recently, he chaired the drafting committee of the National Education Policy 2020 and headed a 12-member steering committee responsible for developing the new national curriculum framework. Tens of thousands of people flocked to the Vatican for a last glimpse of Pope Francis's open coffin as world leaders and other guests began arriving for his funeral. Around 150,000 people paid their respects to the Argentine pontiff by midday Friday, 7 hours before the end of 3 days of lying in state at the St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican said. The wooden coffin will be closed in a private ceremony at 8 p.m. local time. More than 50 heads of state and 10 monarchs are expected to attend Saturday's funeral, along with 2 lakh other mourners. The Pope, who was 88 years old, died on Monday after suffering a stroke.